So we have your latest update from day 3 of BravoCon, including the Real Housewives of Rhode Island announcement and cast and trailer. We also have to talk about the news when it comes to Real Housewives of New York. Apparently, a cast has been locked in. And we also have to update you on some of the things that have been playing out since day 1, including Sutton saying that Garcelle not coming back this season sort of is a blessing. I have some exclusive tea to talk about in regards to that. And we have to talk about, finally, Jeff Lewis apologized to Andy Cohen for his comments about Monica Garcia. Monica Garcia is also reacting to Jeff Lewis's insensitive comments. Let's get into day 3, well, really, BravoCon wrap up here on the Kempire channel.
Here we go now.
Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your #1 source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So yesterday day 1 and day 2, we've given you a BravoCon update, so be sure to check out those videos if you haven't already. Today is the final day of BravoCon in Las Vegas, and I've been loving, shout out to all of you that attended and that have been sharing content on social media. Shout out to my fellow content creators, YouTubers, TikTokers, bloggers, podcasters, and journalists that have been covering this weekend's event. Based on what Andy Cohen said recently, it seems as if BravoCon will not be happening in 2026, and they're going to be doing it every other year. We can expect the next BravoCon to be in 2027, which is actually kind of surprising because next year they'll be celebrating 20 years of Real Housewives, really the reality series that helped build BravoCon, or Bravo in general. As you also know, in our previous video, we let you know that Vicki Gunvalson finally got her orange back. She's still walking around BravoCon with that orange. Reality TV, celebrity, it really is a drug, and it's really sad. I'm just saying it is. But anyway, so there have been a few different stories that we've been talking about, and one of the stories that we reported on to you yesterday was Jeff Lewis's I don't even want to call it insensitive. To me, can we just call it what it is? Racist comments about Monica Garcia. Because we know her as a woman of color, him making those sort of assumptions and constant jokes. This was not his first time taking a dig at Monica Garcia when it comes to her finances. He did this 2 years ago at BravoCon, and it went unnoticed and unchecked. We talked about it, but no one really made a big deal about it. He made similar comments again the first day of BravoCon. We're not going to go through everything that he said. Basically, they were talking about the lack of affluent women on Real Housewives, and then he brought up, oh, and what about Monica Garcia? Oh, I heard her food benefits have been frozen. Here's the thing. Andy Cohen did follow that up by saying Monica was probably a part of the best season of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. He said we would have not gotten screenshots, timeline, effing everything. We would have never had that moment without her being a part of that season. Here's the thing, though. As a real ally, checking someone in that moment, it's like, with everything going on in this country, I know they have a friendship, maybe a frenemy-ship, Andy and Jeff Lewis, but you should be able to check someone in that moment. Because they also announced at BravoCon that he's coming back to Bravo in some capacity, a reality show. I don't know. I really don't care. I won't be watching. No, Andy could have really checked him in that moment. It's like, that's not a funny joke. With everyone dealing with what they're dealing with across this country, millions of people are dealing with that in regards to their food benefits really being frozen. And let me remind you that 40-something% of the people that utilize those things are actually white people. But we already know Andy Cohen's not going to say that. But anyway, I just remind you and tell you what it is. Our friends over at 2Fab write this in regards to Lewis's apology. They said Jeff Lewis is speaking out following comments he made to Andy Cohen during BravoCon panel. The flipping out star claimed that he apologized to Cohen. Andy Cohen doesn't need the apology. The flipping out star claimed that he apologized to Cohen after he made, quote, insensitive remarks about The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City star Monica Garcia during an Ask Andy Cohen panel, which took place at BravoCon in Las Vegas on Friday. As shown in footage from the event posted online at one point, Lewis, who's 55 years old, brought up the financial situations of the women who become housewives, asking Cohen, who's 57, why he and producers have, quote, deviated from bringing in women who aren't as affluent. We have to also keep in mind, too, when Real Housewives started, it really wasn't incredibly rich women. I think shows like Real Housewives of Beverly Hills really made people like, oh my God, we want to see more of that. But the early years, yes, they did well. They did better than most, probably upper middle class, but they weren't filthy rich. So he says, like Monica Garcia, for example, Lewis added, didn't her food benefits just get frozen? The comment didn't seem to be received well by the audience or by Cohen, with the Watch What Happens Live immediately coming to Garcia's defense. I guess I'm going to say Watch What Happens Live host. Lewis said that he didn't believe Garcia was, quote, a right fit on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, to which Cohen noted that Garcia's one-season stint on the series was one of the best seasons of Housewives.
But then I feel like you've deviated from that. I mean, you've brought in women that maybe are not as affluent, and it felt like, I'm just curious why you deviated from that original, like Monica Garcia, for example.
I think the answer...
Didn't her food benefits just get frozen? It just wasn't the right fit that I thought.
By the way, one of the best seasons of Housewives going, so...
It was.
Receipts proof timeline. Without her, you wouldn't have had that, so...
Look, we're always looking for great characters, and we're always looking for women who fit the group, who we want to watch collectively. That's where we're at. And one of the things that I liked about Monica was the fact that she owned the fact that she felt insecure about not being as rich as the other women, which was fine. Because remember when Real Housewives of New York started, Bethany wasn't rich either. She became rich, but she wasn't rich at the time. Let me be so clear. This is what Monica Garcia had to say. Let me be so clear. I have so much said about me that I let slide and don't care to acknowledge. But considering what so many families, single moms, elderly, and Americans have been and are dealing with lately in relation to this situation is horrible, she put in caps. She says, F you, Jeff Lewis, and she added him. You are effing trash for this. Elitist, entitled, privileged prick. Lewis later addressed his comments while speaking with Us Weekly, saying he apologized for his remarks, but did not mention whether or not he's spoken to Garcia. Probably not. He probably doesn't even care to speak to her. Because like I said, this is not the first time that he's made comments. My first panel walking into BravoCon 2 years ago, it was Ask Andy, and he made insensitive comments about Monica Garcia then. And that's when she was currently on the cast. So you actually see an Instagram of Andy and Jeff Lewis with their arms around each other. He says, I thought I killed it, but Andy did not, he said, noting that Cohen might have interpreted his jokes to be, quote, inappropriate and insensitive. And Andy doesn't want the smoke because since the reality TV reckoning, he's always been like, oh, that might be an HR violation. That might be an HR violation. He's real sensitive now. Lewis, who Sirius XM radio shows under Cohen's Radio Andy, and also announced his return to Bravo with still flipping out during Friday's panel, said that he's, quote, exchanged text messages with Cohen. He says, I have apologized. Look, I know this guy. We've known each other for 18 years. He vents, and I sincerely did apologize, he continued. But the apology does not need to go to him. Oh, because you ruined his panel? The apology does not go to him. You need to make a public apology to Monica Garcia and all the people that you offended. My goodness, like this is the white privilege that we're talking about. You're apologizing to the white man. He wasn't offended. He probably was offended for Monica Garcia. You offended Monica Garcia and a bunch of other people that are on SNAP benefits. He says, now I got to give him time to cool off. My experience with him, he'll get back to me in 1 or 2, 3 weeks. He says, I'll talk to you in 3 weeks, Andy, Lewis said. The Flipping Out alum went on to share an Instagram post about the situation. Lewis posted a black and white video of himself and Cohen walking together backstage with the footage set to Barbra Streisand's The Way We Were. He also added a crying emoji over the video. So there really is no true genuineness to his apology. He says, I'm sorry you didn't like our panel, Bravo Andy, Lewis captioned the post. Lewis has not yet publicly addressed Garcia, while Cohen has not commented on Lewis's remarks. trash. And all of you that continue to support him and watch his show, be mindful, because this is who you are collaborating with. All right, moving on. And this is why I say it's important to be mindful of who you support, because he wasn't checked the last time when he said these comments. He felt empowered that he could do it again. All right, moving on. Let's get to another person of privilege that we need not to be talking about anymore. Sutton Stracke. We did a video, I think it was day one, because the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills panel happened on day one, and I heard it was pretty boring. That's what I heard. Sutton said that it was a blessing that Garcelle did not return this season because it gave her an opportunity to get to know the other women. So we've gotten the clip. Shout out to our friends over at Zach Reality. This is his video. You know what we like to do here. We cite our sources. This is what she said. It's a short video.
I was surprised that she walked off the set as well. I will say this, I have gotten to know these women so much better, and I've really enjoyed it and feel really bonded now in a way that I didn't feel before. So in a way, it's kind of a blessing for me.
Another change up in your...
You heard people's reaction? Oh, no, what? Here's the thing. We can have a long rant and talk about Garcelle's defense of Sutton over the years, and it's probably a blessing for Garcelle now not to be on this show, and she left at the right time. I think now people seeing Sutton's reaction and how she's handled because they've been talking about Avi. They talked about this on Jeff Lewis's show too, and they talked about this during the panel. It's just like she can't answer a clear answer, and it's probably because she's lying. She can't answer why Avi is no longer working with her. She can't answer the situation when it comes to her friendship with Garcelle. Apparently, it was never really a friendship, and I think that really was a surprise to Garcelle. So for those that think, oh, they just concocted this friendship as an alliance, no, I believe Garcelle thought that Sutton was really her friend, and now she's seeing that Sutton was never her friend. No one prevented you from getting to know the other women. It was never Garcelle preventing you. It was you, and it was because those other women did not like you, and they still don't like you. They're probably playing nice because production has told them to play nice. Sidebar, something exclusive from what I've heard. The premiere episode of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Garcelle is a hot topic. Still, Garcelle is a hot topic. They are spending a lot of time talking about Garcelle, which makes sense because of the way that Garcelle left this season. So, Garcelle, you still that girl, and will always be that girl. Sutton, I wish you luck, because a lot of people that had your back while watching the show are not going to be watching the show, or if they are, will no longer have your back. Good luck, girl. Moving on, let's talk about Real Housewives of Rhode Island. We have an update in regards to this, and this is from our friends over at Variety. Let me just pull this up. So Variety writes this in regards to Real Housewives, some updates in regards to New York and Rhode Island. On the final day of BravoCon, during an Ask Andy panel, Real Housewives executive producer Andy Cohen announced the official cast for the Real Housewives of Rhode Island, the latest entry into Bravo's mega franchise. Cohen also confirmed that a new season of the Real Housewives of New York has been cast and will begin filming soon. So a lot of people thought that you would get some sort of official announcement. It should be noted that 3 of the reboot ladies from Real Housewives of New York were at BravoCon. So Cohen declined to name who will appear in season 16 of Real Housewives of New York, but it's safe to say that the BravoCon attendees, Erin Leachy, Sai Da Silva, and Jessel Tank will be among them. Bryn Whitfield and Uba Asan, whose toxic fight poisoned the already weak 15th season, have already announced their departures, which were foregone conclusions. Did I miss Uba's exit announcement? I must have missed that. Was I away? I don't remember her announcing that she's not returning, but she seems to be very happy with her man. She's engaged. I feel like we're missing out on something, but it's fine. I'm excited to see what this new reboot of the reboot's going to look like. It's going to be a reboot, basically. Cohen also expressed confidence that the Real Housewives of New Jersey, currently on pause, will come back eventually. And one of the other things that Andy said in regards to Real Housewives of New Jersey, and something that I said, I hope that they do, because you've seen that Teresa and Joe have reunited. They had a separate conversation. They've been taking all kinds of pictures and photo ops at BravoCon together. I saw Melissa Gorga talk about this. I believe it was with Page Six in regards to she doesn't care whatever motivated them reuniting. She loves seeing her husband happy. One of the things I can appreciate about Melissa, what Teresa can't do in regards to articulating herself and how she feels and what motivated her to have this reunion with her brother. She keeps saying it was special forces. I get something triggered it for her. I told you I don't believe what she's saying, but that's me. But I will say this. In real life, off of the show, they are brother and sister. And both of their parents are gone, and they have tons of kids that want to be close. And Gia is Joe's goddaughter. I want to see them really mend this family and build on something off of camera. And Andy said something similar during BravoCon, that he says, you know what? He loves to see that they're together. And he's like, we're going to give them time to reconnect in that way. I think that is going to be the most genuine thing, so it doesn't feel forced and it doesn't feel like they're doing this for Real Housewives of New Jersey, even though we believe they're doing it for the Real Housewives of New Jersey. He did not confirm any other news in regards to Real Housewives of New Jersey. They still have not locked in a cast when it comes to that, so we shall see. I mean, there have been test filming we've heard, and we'll see. Margaret Joseph was at BravoCon. Dolores Catania was at BravoCon. Melissa was at BravoCon. Teresa was at BravoCon. So we shall see. So Cohen also expressed confidence that the Real Housewives of New Jersey, currently on pause, will come back eventually. With the Real Housewives of Rhode Island, as has been rumored since they've both been spotted filming, former Bachelor and Bachelor in Paradise contestant Ashley Iaconetti is one of the show's full-time cast members, and Dolores Catania, the Real Housewives of New Jersey, who was also one of the winners of season 3 of The Traitors, is a friend of the cast. So here's the thing. I've watched the trailer, and we can play the trailer. I've watched the trailer. It really is like Real Housewives of New Jersey. So if they want both shows to exist in this Bravo universe, I don't think they should air them at the same time, to be honest with you. It's going to take us a while to get to know this cast because they all look alike. The only person that I probably will ever remember is Liz, and that's only because she looks like Dolores. They look like sisters, and apparently they're friends. So Iaconetti's casting is the first time a Bachelor Nation star has crossed over to the Real Housewives. Iaconetti, an influencer, co-hosts the Almost Famous podcast with ex-Bachelor Ben Higgins. She appeared in Chris Soleil's season of The Bachelor in 2015 and later married her Bachelor in Paradise castmate Jared Haban. They have 2 children. Is he from Rhode Island? Because in the trailer they say she's not from Rhode Island. Or did she move to Rhode Island? Which would not be the first time. So before y'all start getting mad, like, oh, here we go. That's not the first time a housewife has moved to a city to become a part of that city. Just saying. So I'm open to it. I didn't watch her season of The Bachelor, but okay. And she's new to Rhode Island. The show's trailer emphasizes it's Iaconetti's voice that kicks it off, serving as our guide. In Rhode Island, everyone knows everyone, she says, over crashing waves and drone shots of huge mansions. People here don't look down on other states, but they are weirded out that other states exist. As for Catania, she introduced, sidebar, one of the things that we haven't talked about, I think I briefly talked about during one of our recaps, that Dolores Catania is now engaged to Paulie. They apparently got engaged at the Apple store. Yeah. Okay. So Dolores introduced to the show in relation to her lookalike friend Liz. With the Real Housewives of New Jersey currently paused, Catania has moved to more fertile pastures and has her cast bio reads, Rhode Island captured Dolores' heart years ago, and she's longed to return ever since, with her dear friend Liz McGraw living there. And a shared business project on the horizon, a sun-soaked beach-filled summer, is natural fit for the Jersey girl. The official logline, they may live in the smallest state in the country, but their drama, extra large. As the Real Housewives hits a milestone's 20th anniversary next year, Bravo is expanding the distinguished franchise with the Real Housewives of Rhode Island, spotlighting a fresh, charismatic group of women whose lives intertwine across the storied coastline of the New England luxury. Sidebar, Andy, I believe they said during one of the panels, confirmed what I've been telling you guys for years, that they did try to bring a Real Housewives of Houston, but the cast just didn't work. They're always testing out casts. Remember, there were also rumors that there was a Real Housewives of Chicago being filmed at the same time as this one. That could also be something very similar. They're testing out a cast, and then by the end, they're like, yeah, this is not going to work. Or we don't have the budget for it. I don't know if that's the budget element, but you just never know. So the cast, I don't have pictures here, guys. So and again, even if I showed you pictures, the only person that you would recognize would be Dolores and her doppelganger, Liz. Because everyone else is brown hair. Some of them have accents. It's really feeling like New Jersey. So it will premiere next to the Real Housewives of Rhode Island. Let's go through some of the cast members and who they are. Alicia Carmody, Rhode Island to the core. Alicia isn't shy about her roots. Just wait until you hear her say cracker. After 8 years of engagement to a fiance, Billy, the runaway bride still isn't ready to take the plunge, even for their daughter, Selena. When she's not dodging wedding bells, Alicia helps Billy run his restaurant, Pizza Mama, proving she can handle the heat both in and out of the kitchen. Rosie Damari, a former local television news anchor, Rosie now shines as the host of her own lifestyle program and as a sought-out DJ. Oh God, not another DJ, but at least this is probably her passion as opposed to, some of these housewives like Meredith Marks. So apparently she's a DJ recently celebrating her first wedding anniversary with husband Richie Damari, a well-known Frank Sinatra-style singer. Rosie calls North Kingstown home, where the couple lives with their dog, Clementine. Ashley Iconetti, which we mentioned to you before, after finding love with her new now husband and Warwick, Rhode Island native. So her husband is from Rhode Island. Jared Habone is on Bachelor in Paradise. Ashley has traded rose ceremonies for real life as a proud mom to 2 boys, Dawson and Hayden. While Jared manages their beloved coffee shop, Ashley has built a thriving career as a social media powerhouse, all while acclimating her new life in her husband's home state. Liz McGraw, this is Dolores' bestie, or I don't know about bestie, but friends. Liz is Rhode Island royalty, the woman everyone wants to know, and the state's very own cannabis queen. Alongside her husband, Jerry, she owns and operates the Slater Center, the largest and most successful cannabis dispensary in Rhode Island. But Liz isn't just a business powerhouse. She's also a devoted stepmom to Miranda, Brianna, and Skyla, balancing life, family, entrepreneurship, and her signature flair for style. She literally looks like Dolores' sister. Like they are like twinsies. Rula Nemi, I'm apologize already. I will learn. Rula Nemi Pontarelli. Rula helms a financial empire as a certified financial planner and wealth manager to some of the East Coast's most distinguished families. Okay, hold on, wait a minute. Okay. Rula is married to prominent Rhode Island podiatrist Brian, and together they juggle life with their 2 young children, Luca and Layla. Okay. Kelsey Swanson, former Miss Rhode Island. Kelsey keeps a full plate as one of the state's top makeup artists. Kelsey has been in a 10-year relationship with one of Rhode Island's most notable figures, enjoying the lap of luxury while keeping her social calendar full. Joellen Tiberi, self-proclaimed town gossip. Joellen knows everyone and everything worth knowing in Cranston. So is she the new Giselle? Is she the word on the street? As one of the top aesthetic practice development managers in the country, she juggles a busy career with family life alongside her high school sweetheart and husband, Gary, and their 3 kids, Gian, Jolie, and Gia. Okay. Let's take a listen to, because I can't play the video for you guys, so I'll have to stop and go as well. So let's take a listen to the trailer for the Real Housewives of Rhode Island. Okay, we're pulling up to Rhode Island.
In Rhode Island, everyone knows everyone. People here, they don't look down.
I will say this, based on what they're showing, these homes, I don't know if any of the housewives actually live in these homes, but they're showing us these big, luxurious homes, y'all.
Other states, but they are weirded out that other states exist.
It's teeny. It's a blip. But to us, it's the center of the universe.
Welcome to Rhode Island, where nobody tells anybody the truth and everybody just lies to each other's faces, but talk behind their back.
And I know what you're probably thinking. I am not interested in Rhode Island. Some of you said the same thing about Salt Lake City, and you see how far Salt Lake City has come.
I love it here.
So they show an image of all the women walking in, and I'm telling you right now, all of you are going to be making jokes. I can't tell one from the other. And even Liz with her sunglasses on, she looks like the rest of them too. So I'm like, Liz will be the only one that I know. And of course, Dolores.
Smallest state with the biggest attitude. Like, what are you gonna do?
Rhode Island's small, so we all know each other.
We're finally here.
Your friends, families know each other.
Alicia, have you seen Liz?
Alicia was best friends with my sister.
We know your aunt, we know your uncle, we know your third cousin.
Everybody has like these deep roots. If they didn't
It's giving Real Housewives of New Jersey, y'all.
see you in kindergarten,
It's a problem. In this group, they call me the flip-flopper.
This is Alicia.
with me.
You're a f***ing troll. Welcome to Rhode Island. This is how we roll.
I love you. You know.
Did she just hug her?
Liz is the dominant.
I will say this, when they were showing Liz before they even introduced Dolores, I was like, wait, is that Dolores?
figurehead here.
At some point, how do I not say you're Delula?
I'm scary.
Boo.
This is Dolores.
We're friends.
But not sisters.
Why do you see
think
a
we look
similarity?
They literally say the same thing.
She's brave. She's not afraid to call people out.
She's moving into an apartment, and the old guy
This is
that she
Rosie.
cheated on with the new guy
Yeah.
is paying for it. But I'm the problem.
If I'm trying to find out, if I need an FBI agent, I'm calling.
This is Joe Ellen. Remember they said Joe Ellen's sort of like the word on the street.
She knows everything.
Every morning he goes to our house.
He's at the gym every morning.
Does Brian look like he goes to the gym? Rula projects confidence and beauty. She's a boss.
I brought my tequila.
Are you kidding?
Come on, we got this. We're bush.
I'm dead.
Kelsey's stunning. She's beautiful. She's smart. She's one of my best friends.
I don't refer to myself as a sugar baby. My boyfriend is like actually attractive. The money is just a plus.
Okay, Kelly living a good lifestyle, y'all. They show her in the pool, in the backyard. Okay, they're living very well. Y'all will be very impressed.
Ashley isn't from here, so she's new to the group.
Can we just have fun?
She's gonna cry.
She's gonna cry again.
She's gonna cry again.
This is not the kind of people
Ashley's a crier.
I'm usually around.
Never have I ever had sex on a boat.
I think I had sex with my ex on a boat.
I mean, I think we had sex on land.
It's Rhode Island. When someone says something, we all hear it.
She married her sister's boyfriend.
She's two boyfriends, right?
Sucking dick is not a f***ing career.
Joellen, don't be playing dirty.
Knock it the off.
You may not know Rhode Island, but here, secrets don't stay buried for very long.
Her husband's a foot doctor, but I think he's doing more than rubbing foot.
Now her talking about the podiatrist.
She's
Okay, so they ended with Rhode Island, the Real Housewives of Rhode Island coming 2026. No official date. I think it will be in the early parts of 2026, but we do have a lot of shows coming up. We have Real Housewives of Atlanta that's already wrapped filming. We have Real Housewives of Beverly Hills that's premiering next month. It's going to be a lot, but that's why I said, you know what? I'm going to really focus on the shows that I want to recap next month, especially because we have Kimora Lee Simmons' new show coming out next month. And if I have like free time, and I'm like, okay, it works within my schedule, I'll recap Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But if it doesn't, sorry. I'm focusing on the things that I actually enjoy. I don't know about you. I didn't leave my corporate job to be a slave to content. Anyway, guys, that is your wrap up for day 3. There might be a part 2 to this just because it's still early in the day. But for me, those are probably the biggest stories. And a lot of times when it comes to BravoCon, the real big news happens in the first couple of days. And some people have said, and if you attended BravoCon this weekend, feel free to weigh in the comment section. First of all, there were quite a few people there. I did see that there were tickets online that people were selling on StubHub for pretty cheap. But a lot of people are saying just the energy of BravoCon this year wasn't there. They said it was lackluster. There really wasn't a lot of big news. We'll see. One of the biggest news, you won't get BravoCon next year. I'm sure they'll probably do something like they did last year in regards to doing something in one of the cities or Miami, whatever. But apparently they're going to be doing it every other year. It probably is just cost effective to do it every other year or to get on the schedule for doing it in Vegas. If they decide to bring it back next year, 2027 to New York, then I will probably more than likely attend. But But if it's back in Vegas, unless there's some big artist that's there performing too that I want to see, like Adele was the last year I went, that might be my motivation to go to Vegas. But y'all already know I don't love Vegas. And apparently the F1 is happening again, like this week or next week in Vegas. See, I'm good. Guys, as always, I want to know your thoughts and opinions on this latest update. I will compile our day 1, day 2, and day 3 recaps for the podcast. So subscribe today to the podcast and give us a 5-star review there. And if you're not subscribed here, what are you doing? We don't just talk about Housewives either. If you just like, oh, I'm not really interested in anything, we cover a lot of different topics. For anything that touches pop culture, we're talking about it. And pop culture this weekend, it's all about BravoCon, at least when it comes to our content. Guys, let's continue this conversation in the comment section. Again, if you haven't liked the video, be sure to like the video, be sure to subscribe, and leave me a comment. I want to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching and for listening.
Here we go now.